YouTube, what's going on? Dude Heat back with another real versus fake comparison. This time we're looking at the Jordan 3 white cement free throw line. It's called the free throw line because on the outsole there is the free throw line that Michael Jordan took off from in the dunk competition. So I wanted to show you guys this shoe. It's come out obviously a few years back now. I have a real pair, I have a fake pair. I want to show you guys both pairs to ensure that you guys are getting the right one in hand. If you do have a pair of these in hand, this is just a nice way to double check. And if you are looking to buy a pair, obviously this is a great way to tell. Before I start, please hit this video with a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. The reason for that is it shows me that you guys are interested in these types of videos, and I'll continue to make them. I have a number of shoes, hundreds of retail shoes, and I can get my hands on some of the replicas. I don't mind paying a little bit to buy them just to do these videos if they are helpful. Again, this is a hobby for me. It's a lot of fun, and those comments that I read down below are always a treat. So let's just get right into it. I'm gonna show you guys both pairs, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below which one right off the bat. You guys have to tell me, and you guys are a lot better than me at this, but you can tell me right off the bat which one is real and which one is fake. So I'm gonna show you the first pair here. Make sure you guys get some good detail on the quality of the leather, the outsole, just some of the details. I love doing this to start. Okay, you guys have a good look there. And then here is the second pair. Get a good look at some of the material, the toe box, some of the elephant print, the iconic Nike Air on the heel, the Jordan on the tongue, and then of course the outsole. So what did you guys think right off the bat? Is the real pair on the left or is it on the right? Comment down below and let me know. All right, so the real pair is actually this pair right here. This is the real pair. You guys, a lot of you guys probably got this right, and this is the fake pair. There is some yellowing, it looks like, already happening on this midsole. Just to give you guys a good look versus here. One thing I'll tell you guys right off the bat, the quality of this fake is actually quite good, as are many of the fakes these days, and that's why there are places like StockX which are very helpful. Again, this is not a sponsored video by any means, but you know, it depends on wherever you want to buy them, but always go for trusted sellers, whether on Instagram they're just a trusted seller that you know personally or whatever, who has a bunch of references. Go there. Don't roll the dice when it comes to high ticket items. These shoes, at least for me, they were like $260, $300 retail. They have gone up significantly since then. Anyone trying to buy this shoe is paying resale right now. Don't be the guy that spends, you know, this shoe costs $130 to buy. I paid $130. Don't be the guy that pays $700 for these. Okay? Just use this video to help you, and there are a number of telltale signs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually not gonna go into the box too much because, like I say in every video, make sure you look at the quality of the box. If the box itself is too small, if the box has a number of different like rips and tears and all that kind of stuff on it, it's probably fake. I'm not gonna lie, the box on this one was all right. The font was wrong though. So this is the real box. And that's the fake, the 11. It was just the tag was just too high, and it covered off. It shouldn't cover off at all. And then obviously if you have like a nice little Foot Locker barcode, that's always a lot of help. But I'm just gonna jump right into this. So obviously we're gonna keep the authentic pair here on the left. We'll keep the fakes on the right. You're gonna tell right off the bat, and I'm gonna start with the elephant print actually. Look at the two right there. From this particular model, I'm not saying all of them are gonna be like this, but notice how that elephant print is almost coming off gray. The back came off all right, like more of a black, but so this just might be a flaw just on this one itself. I'm gonna have to actually do this and let's see if this is still. So the issue is not actually, it's just on the toe. For whatever reason, they did a gray toe. So that kind of sucks. for those guys trying to pass it off as real. But for this one, look at the back. I mean, it's very similar. The thing you gotta understand is this elephant print is gonna vary. What I've seen on all my authentics, and I've had this shoe, well, the black cement, but I've had it since 2001. And I could always tell even back then, the LE print is usually thinner as a whole. There were even some fakes back then where they were quite good, but you could always tell because the elephant print was never this thick. This is incredibly thick and embroidered, like it's deep, and this is lighter. This isn't even that deep and thick, you know? This whole material, if you feel it, it's very light. And here it's extremely embossed, and the lines are way thicker and they're way more defined and intense, right? So that right off the bat, look at your elephant print. You'll be able to tell very, 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 very quickly. The second thing is the actual material of the elephant print should be almost like a very, very dull nubuck underneath, okay? Whereas here, this doesn't feel like, this feels like a pure leather. This has like some sort of texture underneath that actual elephant print. The gray actually has a nice texture, whereas this doesn't. It feels like a leather. So you can tell right off the bat, and that hasn't changed for years now. They don't seem to have changed or updated that by any means. These are the heels. I'm not gonna lie, they look spot on. One thing I will say is look for those widow's peaks. Widow's peaks are basically inconsistencies in the leather. As you can see here, there's a widow's peak right at the back, right there. It's just bad, poor craftsmanship and cuts on the actual leather itself, which is causing it to look like that. I can't zoom in anymore, but you guys can see for yourself. In terms of the actual shape, this material here was just nicely padded, whereas here it felt very, very thick. It's almost like too much padding and too much material, but upon actual inspection, when you look at it, you can't really tell too much of a difference. I mean, side by side, this shoe, these look identical to me, for the most part. The color is a little bit different, you know, that's more of a very, very dark red, whereas, you know, you can tell like the actual stitching of the Jumpman is different. Notice how this one's a little bit taller, a little bit skinnier, whereas this one's a little more like, his legs are spread a little bit wider, you know, he doesn't have that butt cheek kind of thing going on. Look at that one. That's just one pure one-hit shot, whereas this one looks like it was made like almost twice. Like they did the leg and they did this first and then they added this second, and you can see his ass there. Whereas here it doesn't have that at all. That's a pretty easy telltale sign. And then again, the elephant print, make sure you're checking that on all your pairs. You want to make sure that LE print is a light gray, not a dark gray. You want to make sure the actual LE print itself is embossed, but not super embossed and not super thick. When I show it to you like this, it's so obvious which one's real and which one's fake. Another telltale sign that they've always said before, and you can't capture it on camera here, is this red. This red is a very iconic red. It's the same you're gonna see on the black cement, the white cement. This color red is not super dark maroon like this. And I even remember this on the fakes from 10 years ago. They always screwed this up. They always screwed this color up. Look at that red. It's more of a true fire, almost like a fire red, and then that is like a maroon. It's just off. Now these are just details you'll only be able to tell when you have it in hand and you can see it and inspect it close, but look at that. The color is off, the cement print is off, the actual leather itself is much cheaper and less tumbled on the fake. You can still see it is quality to a certain extent, but nowhere near what this is. Look at the side panel and look at the quality of that pebbled leather. It's beautiful. Now look at this. It's there to a certain extent, but nowhere near what that is. This is not pebbled by any means, right? And then, I mean, there's smaller inconsistencies that I won't really go into that much more, but one thing that you can easily tell, and it might not be on all pairs, but just look at the perforated dots. Notice how those are just a straight shot, straight line on all white cement pairs. They're gonna look like that. They're crisscross. See? It's crisscross all the way down. And look at this one. That's wrong. So little details like that are gonna be very clear. I'm sure I haven't hit all of them. I just want to hit the main ones. Make sure you look at color. Number one, when you first get your Jordan 3s in hand, look at the elephant print. You know, is it too high? Are there widow's peaks all over the shoe? Does it look inconsistent? Is the stitching correct? You know, on this pair you can see very, very clean double stitch. Here it is double stitch, it's not as clean, there's widow's peaks. It doesn't look as crisp as it should. Again, this is what they're considering, you know, one of their top shoes was very, very, very elevated material. They're not gonna have these screw ups and these inconsistencies, you know, that you're seeing on the fake pair, on the real. You know, you can just tell when you look at this, it's flawless. It's flawless, it's beautiful, it has perfect materials and leather and quality, and everything on the elephant print's great. You see this, it still looks good. This shoe looks good. The fakes always look good before the real one pulls up. Remember that. Always remember that. Whenever someone's ever saying, oh, this looks really, really good. Yeah, it looks good before you see this one. That's all I'll say. You know, people might say, oh, the leather is really good and the perforation, that's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. But if you're looking for this one and you get this, you should be disappointed. It's just, I would just know right away. I would know right away by the time I look at that elephant print. If it's that thick, you're in trouble. If you're sitting at home with a pair right now that you bought and your elephant print looks like that, you're in trouble. Look at this one. Even that one you could say is thick, but look at the two. Man, nowhere near as thick. Look how thin some of these lines are. Look at those thin lines, and look at this. They're just globs and globs and globs of lines. There's a couple thick lines here, but they're not all thick. You'll only be able to tell when you look at them side by side like this. The grades are also different, the materials are different, there's inconsistencies. I'm gonna keep this one brief. The shoe's been out for a little bit, so if you guys are looking for it, make sure you use this, and make sure you hit me up on Instagram. I always do free legit checks on my page. I'll leave my Instagram down below. Of course, before you sign off, definitely hit the like, comment, and subscribe. There's more videos to come. I'm thinking of calling this Fake Fridays. Drop a new video every Friday. But you guys let me know what you want to see next time in the comments down below. It's the Jordan 3. I'm a Dude Heat signing out. Peace.